Good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Once again, good afternoon to all of you. Excluding me, there are around 13 participants. I don't know why the participation is going down, maybe due to a long weekend and everything. But anyway, um, happy that the faces or the names which are familiar are continuing the lectures. And since your assignment submission deadline was over, I just went through your assignments, and you will get the marks later when the uh, results of those continuing education courses are released. Anyway, I just went through them just to have a look at how you have written. And what I noticed was that there was a clear difference between the assignments which were done by the people who attend the class and who have not attended the class. By your names, I know who were there at the lectures, and there were names which were never familiar to me. So there was a clear difference, right? The people who had attended the classes, they had done good job in general. I'm saying, right? In general, as a kind of a common factor, they had done a good job by reflecting their experience well. So, because when you attend the class, you can understand what is required by the lecturer, what is required by your academic, and what are the discussions going on, what is the pattern and the expected outcomes of this learning journey. So now these are your continuing education courses. Thereafter, you will start your first semester with courses, with main courses. So I really encourage you to attend the lectures or discussions and experience and take part in interactive discussions. So then you will find it very easy to understand the concept, remember them, and face the final evaluations very easily. Once you participate in a discussion actively, then the things goes to your mind very clearly. Then no need to study very hard for the final examinations or evaluations. If you have the idea in mind, if it is clear to you, so you can easily convert it into an answer at the final evaluations. Okay, so that's what I observed there. So I thought of sharing it with you before starting the normal lectures today. So, having said that, we'll move to today's discussion. So, so far we have completed 2 days, and this is our third day. So, up until now, during last 2 days of lectures, we have discussed, especially main management concept, principles, definitions, and last week and the environmental analysis and its related influences such as CSR, ethics, social responsibility, so on. Then we started the discussion of main management functions, starting off with planning. So among 4 management functions, which are planning, organizing, leading, controlling, we discussed about planning last week. And today we are going to complete another 2 functions, organizing and leadership. So there are no hard and fast concepts there. All are practical things. The thing is, the theories or the concepts that we discuss, you can apply it into your experience and workplace. And today we'll be doing some in-class activities as well, right? Just to reflect your understanding, and as a brainstorming sessions, we'll have a very casual, very small activity also there, because this is kind of a sleepy time also. So we'll start with organizing. So in order to start the discussion, as usual, I'll I'll share the canvas with you, which is always familiar to us. Okay, so I hope you can see the screen, right? The canvas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have already discussed about planning. Today we are going to discuss about organizing and the leadership. And next week we can discuss about controlling. So if we create a link to our discussion from the last week, now we know in an organization, right? In an organization, there is a colorful dream. In an organization, of course, there's a very colorful, a broader dream to be achieved. That is the vision of the company. So, in order to reach that dream, in order to reach that vision of the company, uh, main strategic goals and objectives of the organization are created. Then, to achieve them, organizational members, or rather the managers, are creating different levels of plans, such as strategic, tactical, and operational. So, once these plans are created, they may be either in the minds of those owners and managers, or maybe on a piece of paper, on a notebook, on a diary, or they may be in uh, computer apps or any other, what do you call, on a digital platform or as soft copies. Likewise, plans can be in those states. So, these plans become effective or implemented from the phase of organizing. So, during the planning stage, it's just preparing the plans, it's just developing the plan. That means it's about deciding what to do and how to do. What things should be done in order to achieve our strategic goals, objectives, and thereby the company vision. Then, how the things should be arranged, how the thing should be done, right? It's like planning an event. So it's implementation, it's practical effectiveness, or rather the implementation comes with the organizing process. Now, if we just recall our discussion from the very first day, we drew a kind of a conceptual map regarding the management process, right? So there we started that picture with limited resources. There are limited resources or the inputs. So in order to get their use very efficiently and effectively, we need this management process such as planning, organizing, leading, controlling, and thereby we can achieve our final goals, objectives. So we can reach our outcomes. So for that, first of all, we develop the plan. Then when we are going to practically implementing it, there are different steps, there are different activities that managers have to do. First of all, they need to recognize the available resource for them, right? So once the available resources are identified, right? Once the available resources are identified, they need to allocate these available resources, right? These limited available resources among different activities or the tasks or the jobs in the organization, right? So in your plans, you have decided what to do and how to do. For that, now you are going to implement it. In order to implement it, first you identify your available resources. Then you have to decide, okay, this is the pool of resources and these are the things that I have to do. So then you have to develop, you have to identify the required activities or the jobs or the tasks. Then you have to allocate, you have to decide how the available limited resources are allocated among these identified tasks or the jobs. Then, once these jobs or the tasks are identified and their resource allocation is decided, you can decide how these activities can be categorized together so that same jobs or the same tasks, same activities are performed by a kind of a one group of people, right? Or a one set of division. For that, you have to decide or the develop departments or divisions of your organization, right? Okay, departments or division. That means once you decide the jobs, once you develop the jobs in a company, you need to identify, all right, okay, this is the nature of my company, this is the nature of the product or the service, good or service that I produce. For that, I need to have separate marketing related activities or jobs. I need to have HR related activities, of course. You need to recruit people, train them, motivate them, keep them in the organization. Likewise, HR related activities. Thereafter, you may require IT related jobs and activities, then finance, then production activities, of course. Then thereafter, if you want to have, based on your organization's nature, if you want to have different public relations related activities, of course. Likewise, once you identify those jobs, tasks separately, then you can develop your HR division, your marketing division, public relations division, IT division, finance department, productions department separately by allocating those jobs according to the according to the what do you call, according to the functional nature of those jobs. That means the marketing related people all are put together and you develop the marketing department. Production related people, they you put them together and you develop the production department. Likewise, the similar nature of jobs are categorized together and you can develop the departments or the divisions. Thereafter, you appoint heads for these departments and divisions, and you have to decide how the responsibility is, or else let's say you have to decide the hierarchy of your company, right? Who are placed above, who are placed below, right? You have to decide the hierarchy of the company, right? Thereafter, you have to decide how the responsibility is assigned for people. Then, how the authority and power is given for people. Then, how the communication or the instructions are flowing through the company, right? So you have to decide these things, and also then you have to decide how the coordination is done between the departments. You have to decide, you have to develop these things in your company. So once all these things are done, once all these things are designed and developed, this is this creates this outcome of this would be the organizational structure of your establishment, right? Structure of the organization is the outcome of this entire organizing process, right? So I'll try to write it here. I don't know whether I can organizational structure is the final outcome here. Then this organizational structure can be visually represented through the organizational chart of your company. Mm. So I'll write this again. So the outcome is the organizational structure. It can be visually represented through the organizational chart of your company, right? So there, when you're deciding the jobs of your company, it can be done according to the business nature, right? So if you are a production company, you have to develop the jobs, you have to create the jobs in your company by giving the priority for that product creation, maybe product design, product development, then testing, research and development. Likewise, that according to the nature of your product, you may develop different jobs. If you are running a service organization, based on that, you may create jobs, right? Let's say if it is a salon, right, you may develop jobs. Okay, I have a reception. So in that reception, the receptionist is the one who is undertaking the appointments and clearing payments. Likewise, the job is there. And the hairstylist and all the other the people who deliver the service. Then thereafter, if you want someone for let's say cleaning and to make the environment such as aesthetic environment, if you want to hire somebody with the expertise knowledge in that, right, you may create that type of a job. That's your decision according to the nature. Then when you're categorizing your jobs together under the roof of different departments, there are different ways, there are different strategies that you can follow, right? If you want, you can have departments based on the functions of the company, such as marketing department, HR department, IT, finance, production, so on. Right? If you want, if your company is having different branches around the country, or if your operations are expanded across the globe in different countries, in different regions, if you want, you can create your departments based on those geographical areas. In order to handle the activities in Sri Lanka, one department; to handle the activities in India, one department; to handle the activities in Australia, one department. If you want, you can develop departments like in that manner as well. Or else, if you want, you can develop your departments, create your departments according to the customer requirement. Example, for an example, let's take a bank. So in a bank, for the people who comes to deal with their savings account, their requirement, their need is to deal with their savings account. There's a separate division. For the people who want to deal with their, let's say, fixed deposits, there's a separate division. For the people who comes for kind of pawning requirements, that is a different division. So based on the customer's requirement, you have developed different departments, right? So I mean, within a particular one bank branch. But when it comes to the head office of that bank, there can be other divisions as well, HR, IT, marketing, likewise. Right? So, based on the nature of your organization, you can come up with those departmental strategies, methods of creating your departments. Then when you're creating the hierarchy, that means when you're deciding, okay, now these are the jobs, these are the departments, then who are the heads? Then how am I going to create top managers, middle managers, lower managers, layers? Whether I'm going to have a very tall hierarchical structure in my organization, or whether I'm going to have a very flat, well, like team based, like teams wise or project wise organizational structure in my organization. You can decide it. Then whether I'm going to give responsibility, autonomy, authority, power in equal manner to both managerial and non-managerial employees, like in participative management, or whether I'm going to keep more hierarchy, power, sorry, more power, authority, autonomy, decision power, and everything with top managers, and whether I'm going to reduce it gradually when I'm going to the downward levels of my structure. You can decide. And whether I have opened up communication from top to bottom, bottom up, and among parallel divisions, whether I have that kind of a circular communication process, two-way and circular communication process. How the instruction goes from top to down, or as teams, rather than having hierarchical structure, whether you are having different teams, or whether you are going to develop your company based on projects. So likewise, you can decide, right? Then the very important thing, the coordination among the divisions. So of course, now we have developed your departments, divisions, and everything, but at the end you have to understand that you are going to achieve the final strategic goals and objectives of your company, and all the divisions and the jobs, all the personnel, they have to work towards achieving the final vision of the company. If so, how you are going to coordinate between the divisions, departments, layers, hierarchical layers, and so on. So deciding all these and implementing it, designing your organization in this manner is identified as the process of organizing. So, if we put in simple terms, organizing itself is a process. Organizing is the process of identifying resources, tasks, and the departments of the organization, and allocating resources among those people, activities, and departments in the organization, and deciding the structure of the company in order to achieve the final goals and objectives of the company. So in that process, there are many steps, there are many activities which we discussed up to now, right? So the final outcome of this entire effort is your final organizational structure. So it can be a very tall structure, as I said, or it can be a flat structure, it can be a team structure, or it can be a project structure, or it can be a very virtual structure without having all physical elements, departments, and everything. Your structure can be a very virtual thing in like online companies or e-commerce platforms, maybe Alibaba, likewise. If you are doing so sometimes, even though if you are doing virtual business activities, you may have a physical structure, physical organizational structure. So it depends, right? So yeah, if it is a fully online based operation, your structure can be fully virtual. There's no there's no physical hierarchical arrangements environment in the physical workplace. Or your organization can be boundaryless. Your structure may be boundaryless. That means there's no geographical boundaries. It is spread across the globe, and many people around the globe can work in your company, maybe as freelancers, maybe as subcontractors, right? So, mainly with these freelancers, this boundaryless organization structure is there. Anyone from any country can work, right? Recently, not very recently, maybe 2, 3 years back, one of my colleague joined such a company. So her job is to review the documentaries, films, and different artistic piece, and contributes to those documentary reviews and everything. So it's more towards entertainment and aesthetic activities. So anyway, likewise, there are companies which are boundaryless. The people from many countries can work as freelancers, right? So, so final thought is that based on your company's nature, its requirement, according to the good or service that you produce, you can decide which departments are there, how the structure is developed, how the communication authority autonomy power is there, and finally what's the structure. So let's take a government university. Yes. If I take an example from my field, so in a government university, this structure is much rigid. It has more bureaucratic elements there. There's a tall hierarchy, right? And the autonomy power, it mainly lies with the high positions. When you go down that hierarchy, the level of autonomy, power, authority that lower level people are having is less, especially with compared to the higher order people, right? So the structure is a very rigid, tall one. Okay. So, but when it comes to, let's take an event organizing company or a IT company, but their structure is totally different. It can be a more flat one, project-wise one, or a team-based one. And the communication is very quick, very open, very two-way and circular. And the all the people are empowered. Their ideas, their suggestions are always welcome, and they are implemented. So these are totally different organizational structures. Right? So all this entire process is implemented or rather executed throughout this organizing function. So we have to understand, once the plan is developed based on the guidelines of the plan, usually this organizing happens. But at planning session also we discuss, now with the current turbulent environment, we cannot stick into the very rigid plans. If so, if the planning is also a very contingent, flexible one in the contemporary world, there so is this organizing function as well. So rather than having very strict, rigid organizational structures, if we can develop it so that it's very flexible, very adaptive, and especially empowering people, motivating people, and giving equal opportunities, giving more authority, power, responsibility to employees, and having open communication and having a stronger coordination between them, that I think that's the requirement of today's organizations. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this explanation of this conceptual picture. And I would like to ask you, now I have explained these concepts as, what do you call, as concepts. So what's your input regarding this organizing? How these things really happen in your organizations? Actually, how you decide the final organizational structure of your company through these set of activities? I would like to know that. So I know them as concepts. What really happens in your companies? Yes, friends. Can you please share?
Uh, Good afternoon. Ms. Purma, that in our company, we have that head office, we have that, uh, I mean, tall hierarchy. But whereas in the project, we are in the project side. In our project side, we have flat organization structure, like project manager. Then it is distributing to that resident engineer and contract engineer. That is all in a same level. Then after that, site engineers and site supervisors. So it is like we can say flat organization structure. But in the head office, yes, from the managing director and uh, construction manager, likewise, they have that hierarchy uh, based on the project wise. So this is what I want to share in our company.
Right. All right. That means at the two context, you are having two different structures, right?
Yes, yes.
Right, right, right. It's a very good insight. So as I explained in that bank example also, so in a one branch, there can be a separate departmental strategy, whereas when it comes to its mother company or the head office, it may be having a different structure. So in the head office, there can be functional departments. In individual branches, there can be customer based departments. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dinesh. Any other insight that you would like to share?
Yes, in our organization is same like that.
Yes,
So
Ashu.
yeah, the head office has a different organ structure, and as a department, we have a different structures
Ashok,
with
one thing,
customized.
it's not clear. Can you speak little bit louder?
Yeah, we use the same structure. It does have
Mm-hmm.
different structure, and as a department, we have different structure.
Uh-huh. Right. So, is there any structure like this? Again, I'll share the paint canvas and I want to know this one. Right? There is a structure called metric structure. Right? Metric structure means in an organization, if two structures are combined together, and if that is followed as a main company culture, we identify it as matrix structure. So it's like this. Let's say in your company, okay, right, you have a boss like this. Okay, so with this boss, under this boss, let's say you have different functional departments, right? Let's say you have marketing, then you have human resource management department, then you have IT, then let's say you have accounting and finance. Likewise, you have now functional departments are there. So on now in these functional departments, right? Now you have heads, marketing, marketing manager, right? Marketing manager, HR manager, IT manager, accountant or finance manager, heads are there. Then under them, now you have the departments are there, right? This is marketing department, this is HR department, and this is IT department, and this is accounting and finance department. So likewise, these departments are there, and inside that, people are working, right? Now, different people are working here. These people perform marketing jobs. These people perform HR jobs, right? These people perform IT jobs, IT tasks. These people perform accounting and finance jobs, likewise. Then, at the same time, this company is conducting different projects, right? It undertakes different projects. So it's like this. Now, in this company, they have Let's say this is project A. Then they have another project, that is project B. Again, they have another project, project C. Just think whether you have this type of organizational structure in your company. Yeah? Project B. Then you have likewise projects are there. So for this one project, right? For this one project, project leader is also there. Project head or leader or whatever it is, the one person to lead this project is also there. Thereafter, how these project teams are created means for a particular project, this, how should I draw that? Let's try this one. Right, okay. For this project, the people from other departments are also involved. Then for project B, again, people are involved. Then again, for the project C also, these people are involved. Hmm. People are involved. So, what happens for a person or an employee in one of these division? Let's take this person as let's take this person as mistakes. So what happens to these mistakes? Now he is in the marketing department, but at the time he is allocated to project A as well. So in terms of his department, marketing department, he is under the marketing manager, head of his division. On the other hand, since he is allocated to a different project and when there is another leader for that project, he is bound to that project A leader as well. That means what? This Mr. X is under dual authority. He is bound to report to marketing manager at the same time project A leader. So when this type of a dual authority is there, when two department based are connected together, for such organizational structure we call matrix structure. Right? Matrix structure. Do you have this type of structures in your organizations? Anyone?
Yes, Miss. We have actually, we are Royal Ceramics Lanka PLC.
Okay, Sia.
We are leaders in Thailand bathware manufacturing in Sri Lanka. So we have manufacturing plants separately. We have three manufacturing large plants, Homagama, Horona, and Heliagoda. So the manufacturing department directly dealing with the factories. So we are working in branch, so we are not directly dealing with the manufacturing department. But we have marketing, HR, IT, finance, and logistic department as well. So every day we have to interrelated with it. We have interrelated communication with every departments normally when we work as a usual day. So every department has the head of marketing head, likewise HR head, IT head, finance head, like that. But the main decisions and everything is made by the top of directors. We have director boards. So those the hierarchy, the highest authority people who are making the planning and decision main things. Yeah, that's it.
Right. So the employees at one department, they have to report to?
Yeah, every department heads, we have to report to every heads there per
Right.
market department. But branch wise, when we work the practically, we can intercommunicate it with any department by phone or email or
Yeah,
any
right.
other digital tools. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, recently they developed the online platform.
Uh-huh.
Recently they developed that is a new department now. They recently added that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you very much, Siad, for sharing that experience. Any other?
Madam, I just want to ask now. This is actually when I'm working in Sri Lanka, that in RR construction, in there, I think this kind of structure. But I wanted to ask now, project wise, they have marketing team, HRM, IT. I mean, project wise also they have. They are reporting to that head office let's say that marketing, that one person assigned in project A, one person assigned in project B. Likewise, is it same thing?
Actually,
What?
now we can say one person is assigned likewise. So from people from the marketing division are assigned for project A. So those are the people who take the responsibility of marketing of project A. Something like that, Dinesh. So with
Yeah,
regards to
but
project
they are staying in head office or that project base.
based.
Okay.
So it's like this.
So
So if you want, now let's say it's a construction company. So if you want them to be at the construction site, that's something else, right? Or else you can station them at the main office, but they are responsible towards the project A. So it happens both the way. Now, let's say I'm someone in the accounting department, right? I'm preparing accounts or something, but I have been allocated to project A. So I have nothing to do with that construction side. No, sometimes I will have to pay a visit to maybe to uh, see the invoices, or maybe to what else? Maybe to kind of as an internal audit part. Maybe I have to visit there. But mainly in the head office, I'm at my accounting division. I work there, but I'm preparing the accounts or whatever the finance related activity of project A. So on one hand, I have to report to my accountant, who's my immediate boss. On the other hand, I have to work with the lead of the project A, right? So I have to work under the authority of both people. So whether I work at the site or whether I work in the main head office, it depends on the job role of mine, how I involve there, whether I have a priority towards that department or whether I have a priority job at the project site. Did you get the point, Dinesh?
yeah, clear, madam.
Right.
One thing, madam, can you go to that previous canvas? I didn't screenshot that previous canvas. Is it
I
possible?
just closed it. If
You
somebody
already
can
removed?
share. Yeah, I removed. If
Uh,
somebody can
I
share.
okay.
restart, Dinesh.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Ashok. Right. So, this is conceptually, that is what I know, but I have to share with you. Do you have any counter arguments with this? Anybody who uh, have a disagreement with this concept?
So it's I can just echo is something like this is like
Yeah, Shaheen.
a crosswork stream collaborations when it's come for the such kind of projects. Let me
Yeah.
quickly take through. I had a project go through for the Salesforce automations. So whereas the commercials was leading the project, then the supply chain, accounting, sales, and the procurements, and everyone was involved cross-functionally, which is SME, subject matter experts. For each function, there are specific person appointed to lead the functional specific role in that project. So he become a SME for that function. Then he coordinates only the supply chain, main supply chain related task in only for that project. Then another person he related to the accounts mean he coordinate only the financial posting. Let's say Salesforce mean he do the invoice validations, returns validation, credit note validations. So likewise, individual scopes cross-functionally collaborated. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So thank you very much, Shaheen. So that means there are actually there are companies which are actually implementing this type of organizational structures rather than having that very traditional hierarchical structure. So based on the requirement of the company or the nature of your business, I think you can decide your structure. And I think based on the requirement, you have to restructure your company. Recently, one of my MBA friends, he called me and said he's working at this Jinasena company, no? That water pump company. So he said that Purnima, now we want to have kind of a restructured organization. So all structure may not work hereafter. So I want to restructure it and having kind of a more flat type team-wise structure should be there. So there are actual requirements. You may have an organizational structure which prevails there for more than 20-30 years. But time to time, with the requirements or with the changes in the environment, I think your organizational structure can change. But it's not a simple task, right? You have to change people, you have to think about resource allocation. It's a massive, tiresome task, but if it requires it, it's a necessity. It necessitates by the environment, you'll have to do that. So in that organizational structure, there is another important thing that we have to discuss. That is about formal and informal arrangement. So even though you develop a very formal organizational structure, since you have human being in your company, since they are social creatures, it's inevitable that those people creates their own informal arrangement, right? Like lunch colleagues, or people who get together for parties, or movie partners, maybe from different departments, from different divisions, projects, maybe from different hierarchical layers. They may get together and they may have their lunch together. They may go for parties, they may go for movies. So those informal arrangements are inevitable. So with these informal arrangements, what we should understand is that not only the formal communication, informal communication is also there. So this informal communication is identified as grapevine. Grapevine, mainly gossiping, right? What else? Mainly gossiping and disseminating false information, right? Accusing others. So likewise, there are different set of informal communication as well. And maybe one person passing it to another person, or one person passing those informal information to another group of people, or maybe they are passing it as a network, as a messed one. So likewise, there can be informal communication in the organization. Not can be, there are. So as effective managers, you have to handle that informal part as well, not to suppress that one. No? You can't suppress that informal organizational arrangements, teams, and informal communication. No, you can't abolish it, you can't ban it. but you have to strategically handle it. If you're smart enough, you can make use of those informal groups and informal communication channels to get the things very quickly, very fast. So if you want to spread something in your organization, rather than communicating it through formal channels, I think it's really effective to pass it through informal channels. අර කම්පනි එකේ අබිලින්ට කිව්වහම ඒක අනිත් හැමෝටම කියනවා වගේ. So actually effective managers can make use of these informal arrangements and communication as well. So would you like to contribute to that? Any of your experience where you effectively used your informal groups inside the company and informal communication channels? Any interesting story that you would like to share with us?
That's a lot can happen in every organization.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay,
Like
go
normal
ahead.
day-to-day life, yeah. So it's when you take for the low level, the other functional heads normally reaches to the low level of different function to get the information, and they go to the meeting. Then in the meeting, when we have a high level discussion, they take this example and these points. Your subordinate was telling like this, so and so. Then we've been like, it's in a very contradict situation or conflict situation. So I really very strongly maintain such things with my practical experience with my co-workers, saying that, guys, when you're exposing any information to anyone else out of our function, please be aligned with me. First, you have passed this information to that person, then I can tackle him. But otherwise, I'll be nowhere in the communication. I'll be in the same situation. Where is the gap is between the functional head and the subordinates?
Yeah, that's true.
It's very much pretty happening everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yes. Anyone else who would like to share experience? How you tackled such a situation? Things happen with such informal communication and groups.
But I have one good thing about my, I mean, overall organization leader. So we have a WhatsApp group formed, and where all the sort of complaints used to come. When we interact, when any of the leadership team involved in such communication, the head of the business personally message, please take it offline, have a meeting, let's have a discussion, don't involve in such communication here. So he really show a different leadership quality there in that things and tackle the situations,
Yes.
Just yeah, that's how we tackle currently such conflicts.
Okay.
At hospitals, I come from a hospital background.
May I know your name, please? It's
I'm
just
Dr. Bhagya.
Bhagya. Okay, go ahead.
So at hospitals, this informal communication helps us a lot because, say, prospective or a futuristic trade union action. So because of this informal communication, you call it like, the hearsays that we have, that happens in the operational level. Through informal communication only, we as the management and the administration, we get to hear about it. So then we also can, actively look into it and be prepared for what to be expected. So there are good sides as well as the bad sides when it comes to this formal and informal communication.
Yes, Bhagya. Thank you very much for sharing that interesting insight as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay. It's so nice when you're sharing your real experience, blending with these concepts. Anybody who would like to contribute? Before we move to watching a video? Is that all? Anyway, I think you may have thousands of experience, right? With all this stuff. So let's watch another video regarding Apple's organization structure. Once the leadership changed from Steve Jobs to Tim Cook, there have been different changes in the organizational environment, culture, and structure. So, as Shaheen also correctly connected, so our next topic is also about leadership, right? So, leadership is having a critical influence towards all these organizational structures, formal, informal arrangements, communication, guiding people. So, all these things are directly linked with our next function, leadership. So at Apple also that has happened. So it says Steve Jobs is kind of a rigid person. I mean, he's kind of a bureaucratic person who would like to make decisions by his own and uh, passing it to others. Whereas it says that Tim Cook is more flexible and kind of a very autocratic lead, where he allows others to come up with innovative ideas and so. So the Apple's organizational structure has also been changed. So rather than focusing on different products, so in departmentalization, I forgot to mention actually, now only it came to my mind. So in departmentalization that I told you, we can make departments based on customer, based on geographical requirements, based on functions, and we can do it based on the product too, right? Product-based departmentalization is also there. For example, for a conglomerate, which is producing different products, you can have your departments separately for each and every product. Let's say if you are producing soap, a separate division to look after the entire process of creating that soap. And again, a detergent powder separately for that. Then if you are producing kitchenware items, a separate set of people and department for that. Likewise, product-based departmentalization can also be done. So in Apple, what they have done is they have develop their departments or departments so that expertise or the experts in different aspects or the areas which are required for their production are running those departments or running those activities of the company. Once I share the video, you will understand it. So we'll watch how that very innovation based, technology based, this company is developing their organizational structure, right? Then, I think you have taken a screenshot of this. If you want, take a screenshot of this matrix structure as well. So then thereafter, අපි බලමු මෙච්චර ටෙක්නොලොජි එකත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන totally innovation කියන එකම hunt කරගෙන යන Apple, how they are going to, not going to, how they have arranged their organizational structure. We'll watch that. Let me share.
What is Apple best known for? Easy answer. For its innovation in hardware, software, and services for a wide range of products such as computers, iPhones, and iPads. Now, here's what's less known and equally significant about the company. Its organizational design and the associated leadership model that have played a crucial role in driving its innovation success. It all began after Steve Jobs' return to Apple as CEO in 1997. One of his first acts on his return? Laying off the general managers of all the business units in a single day. Not a move that inspires a welcome party, but there was a method to Jobs' madness. Apple at the time had a conventional structure for a company of its size and scope. It was divided into business units, each with its own profit and loss responsibilities. Jobs believed this conventional management stifled innovation. He put the entire company under one P&L and combined the different functional departments of the business units into one functional organization. Simply put, a functional structure divides an organization into departments based on their function. These departments are headed by functional managers who are experts in the roles they supervise. The functional structure, which Apple retains to this day, ensures that those with the most expertise and experience in a particular domain have the decision rights for that domain. Senior vice presidents at Apple, then, are in charge of functions, not products. As was the case with Jobs before him, current CEO Tim Cook occupies the only position on the organizational chart where the design, engineering, operations, marketing, and retail of any of Apple's main products meet. In effect, besides the CEO, the company operates with no conventional general managers. Apple's structure is based on two views. First, the organization competes in a market with a high rate of technological change and disruption. It has to rely on the judgment and intuition of technical experts who can predict which technologies and designs are likely to succeed. General managers are unlikely to be able to do that. Second, Apple's commitment to offer the best possible products would not be achieved if cost and price targets were the fixed parameters within which to make design and engineering choices. Instead, R&D leaders are expected to weigh the benefits to users against cost considerations. A case in point is the decision to introduce the dual-lens camera with portrait mode in the iPhone 7 Plus in 2016. Paul Hubel, a senior leader who played a central role in the portrait mode effort, and his team were taking a big risk. If users were unwilling to pay a premium for a phone with a more costly and better camera, the team would have less credibility the next time it proposed an expensive upgrade or feature. The camera turned out to be a defining feature for the iPhone 7 Plus. Under a traditional structure, Hubel would not have been empowered to take such a risk, and the feature would likely not have been made because traditional cost and price analysis lack a deep understanding of users' needs. It's easier to get the balance right between attention to costs and the value added to the user experience when the leaders making decisions are those with deep expertise in their areas. This explains Jobs' decision to change the way Apple works. The combination of its organizational structure and its leadership model not only saved the company from bankruptcy, but also transformed it into one of the most influential tech companies in the world.
Right. So now you saw how tech giant has developed their organizational structure as a functional departments, but under the experts of who are very essential, who are very key personnel to keep up their innovations and to keep up their competitiveness throughout the market. And Shaheen is also saying you're having departments based on the product, right? Thank you, Shaheen. Are you working at overseas, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I'm in Oman at presently. I'm working for a dairy company, like a cheese, craft cheese, we can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you pay a visit to Sri Lanka, you can bring us some cheese, huh? To the Open University.
Definitely. Usually I used to bring around 20 to 40 kilos every vacation.
Oh, good. So I hope you will come soon before this MSc finishes.
I hope, inshallah, yeah.
Okay, right. So now with that, I thought of next is all about leadership. Let me quickly. Right. So I'll share the slide for a small discussion there. Okay, now as we discussed, now I am not going to share this in slide share mode. We'll just keep this slide as like this and have a discussion. So in current environment, in contemporary, very rapidly changing business environment, business context, as I said earlier, organizing is not that simple and easy. It may be very challenging, complex. Time to time, it may invite you to think about restructuring and everything. But if you want to continue a successful organizing initiative or effort, I think as same as in planning, it's important to always maintain a flexibility there. Right? So if you can review your organizational structure time to time, and if you are flexible enough to change it, that would be ideal. But change is not simple. If you want to change a thing, you have to create an environment which supports such a change in your organization. So you have to keep your employees ready for such a change. Right? You have to educate them, you have to train them, you have to develop your mindset. So likewise, the culture of your company should be very inducive, very collaborative, very flexible. It should support for such a change. So that is where organizational culture and organizational leadership links with the organizing function. So leaders, as managers, you all are leaders in your company. So your leadership role, your leadership quality should create an environment in the organization where it enables you, it supports you to change your organization structure when and where required. And you have to have a collaborative, very supportive mechanism inside your organization with employees or maybe with outside parties, because your restructuring may affect your suppliers and customers also indirectly. However, if you have such very collaborative, supportive, very flexible mechanism inside your company, you will be able to continue this process and having a good organizational structure which in par with industry and business environment requirements, right? So and that's why these tips are there. You have to have a employee empowerment, their continuous development. You have to develop their mindset and their skills, their development. For that, leadership matters, for that, culture matters. Then you will be able to keep your organizing up to that level, up to the requirements of the environment. And now we cannot exclude the matter of technology. With the technology, your organization structure may change, right? So let's say in Open University, you may know that there are different regional centers and study centers across the country, right? So, but all the main activities, academic, administrative main activities are conducted at the central campus, through the central campus now. So let's say when we are conducting lectures, we at the central campus, Navala campus, we are the course coordinators. So we are the people who develop the content, slide and everything. Then for the lecturers who conduct lectures at other centers, we convey them. This is how you need to do. This is the course content and this is the time frame. These things you need to be covered, and this PowerPoint can be used by you. Likewise, it is done. So now it's not like previous. With the technology, now you can have more collaborative organizing structure. So now we are in the process. Now the Open University administrators, they are in the process of creating these digitalized classroom. So currently we are parallelly conducting, if it is physical lectures, we are parallelly conducting physical lectures at different regional centers and study centers by different academics. Now, if we can digitalize this, that means the lecturer at one center, mainly at Navala centers, internal academic can conduct the lecture there, and students can come to other centers, and where Zoom and with the smart board technology and everything, the students can experience the same lecture which is conducted at Colombo Center at main central campus. And so, with this technology, when we embed these technology implications, the organization structure may also change. Now, for these regional centers and study centers, we have different assistant directors and coordinators, academic coordinators for different faculties soon. So when the technology is there, sometimes that structure and communication may change, right? So, for you also, I think as industry, you're always embracing technology, but if you're working at a government organization, the uh, pace of embracing the technology may be little bit less than the other private organization. However, this technology can be adapted for better organizing functions, especially for virtual companies, especially for boundaryless organizations. Technology plays the major role, I think. Right? So, on the other hand, when you are developing departments, when you are allocating resources, you can get the support of technology. For have more logical decisions, you can get the use of technology using system, app, or a software. You can decide, okay, right, this is how I can develop department. This is how I'm going to allocate my resources in terms of budgets, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human resource. Likewise, you can decide how these resources can be allocated into different departments, branches, so right. So in the organizing function, or technology, role of technology cannot be excluded in the current context as well, right? So this is all regarding the organizing function. Thereafter, we are going to move to the leadership. But before that, we'll do a small activity and then go for a break and start our discussion about leadership. So before starting that activity, can I just quickly know any example where the technology has played a key role in developing your organizing structure in your organization? Any experience, any story that you would like to share? Anybody? Can't you think of such situation? Technology එකත් එක්ක company එකේ structure එක, hierarchy එක, නැත්නම් communication practices, anything that you have changed? No, nothing. Anyway, yeah, Subramanian.
This is only the communication practice has changed in our team. I am working in the irrigation department. In those days, we are physically attend the meeting in Colombo. I am from our station in Ringo. But nowadays, using this Zoom technology, the entire country directors and the head office people are joined together, and without going to Colombo, we take decisions from our present location itself. The using of technology, that's all. Like structure did not change, but we use this technology.
Right. Okay. So I think during the COVID-19 period, the technology had a major role in changing the entire organizational structures and practices, I think, right? So the work from working environment itself, I think it's changed. I can remember again one of my friend who's working in the corporate sector. She shared a story that earlier, before COVID-19, they have had exact places, physical places to work. But with the COVID-19, with that shift basis, it has been changed. So if you can work from home or else you can come to work. So when you come to work, according to the available spaces, you can go to some station and work. On one hand, it has reduced the cost of the company as well. You need not to maintain more physical places as for dedicated for each and every employee, something like that. So that type of different changes has happened with technology advancement, right? Now, especially with robotics and everything, now you can see the human involvement is getting reduced, especially for hard work. Robotics are replacing employee. So in that case, organizational hierarchy, it obviously changes, right? So likewise, the technology impact on organizational structure can be seen in contemporary environment. So with that, uh, are you ready to do a quick activity? Oh, are you bored? Otherwise, there's no point in doing an activity if you are really bored. If you would like to engage in and come up with your real ideas, only we can go for an activity. So I'm being democratic. What do you want?
We'll have activity. It's better.
Okay, and one thing, have you had a chance to talk with each other of your group? Rather than just attending lectures as a group, have you had a chance to have a networking among you?
Uh, no, still we have separate group actually, but still we couldn't meet each other. Really, now I remember that Shine one day he tried to call me. At that time I was busy. I couldn't interact. The way I am also in Oman, I couldn't contact today. I will contact him anyway after the lecture. This is a. We should have a meeting that is good to have interact each other and previous one I mean introductory lecture. At that time we had a group assignment, like a group what is called
Activity.
we had group work. So it's good to have that kind of things, I
Right. Okay.
guess.
So that's what I also thought. So in the lecture, we are using videos, paint canvas, and next week at the last session, I'm thinking of using interactive learning platforms such as Mentimeter. So today I thought of having a online activity, Zoom-based activity in class. So there also what I'm going to do is I'll, as you have experience, I'll put you into breakout rooms. So in the first 2-3 minutes, I will not join any room. There you develop your network with your friends. In that breakout room, you can speak in any language, in any manner. So you get to know each other. So mainly you will get a 8-member group. Now, since we are having around 24-25 people in the lecture. So first you get to know each other. Then after a couple of minutes, I'll join the room and I'll tell you the task that you need to do. Thereafter, I'll give you around 10-12 minutes. Then we'll close the breakout rooms. We'll come to the main room and we'll share your experience. This is not a hard and fast thing. What I want to know is your once you come to a particular room, a diversified ideas and experience will come together since you all are coming from different industries. So I want to see that, and I want to see how that experience is reflected through this activity, how we are going to share it with us. Okay? So, are you all okay with that? Everyone, are you okay? Hey, come on, I want to hear from you. Are you okay with this?
Yes.
I believe yes. Okay. So now I'll just allocate you into breakout rooms and I'll give you around 3 minutes. Quickly get to know about your friends being in that room. You can join your rooms now. Mahesh, Hassan, Rika, Siad, and the Zoom user, you haven't joined the rooms.
lagi maksud apa? Break time ah?
Hello? 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 Hello, madam. Hello? Hello?
ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක නිකන් ෆෝන් එකක් වගේ ගත්ත බැයිද අපිට? එතකොට ගොඩක් කට්ටිය ඉන්නවනේ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් ගන්නනේ. මොකක්ද එතකොට ගන්න ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකේ මොකක්ද ඩිෆෝල්ට් එක විදියට ගන්න? අපේ තමෝ බැටරි නිව්ලි ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක මේක මාකට් එකට ගියේ නැහැ කියලා අපි හිතපු ඩිමාන්ඩ් එකට ආවේ නැහැ කියන එක දැක්කත් ඒතර හරියට ප්‍රොමෝෂන් එක පැත්තකින් ගියේ නැහැ හරියට අපේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක කොමියුනිකේට් වුනේ නැහැ සබ් කියන්නේ මේ කියන්නේ ඉන්ඩියුසර් කියන්නේ කන්සියුමර්ට කියන්නේ පාරිභෝගිකයට ඒක ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකට කොමියුනිකේට් වුනේ නැහැ කියන නිසා අපේ ඩිමාන්ඩ් එකේ මොකක් හරි කියන්නේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකේ මොනවා හරි එකක් ඒ වගේ එකක් ගන්න බැරිද?
Okay, I believe all of you are back at the main session. So since the time goes quickly, we'll start your presentation. So present it very quickly within a very short period of time, within a couple of minutes. So, okay, shall we start with group one? Yes. For the group one, I think I gave you that clothing brand activity. Please start. Come on, please start your presentation, group one. What's
Good
your organizational structure that you are going to propose?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. For our group, we have to decide an organization structure for clothing business. So we decide the name as Stitch and Style, and the activities involved in the organizations, the businesses, purchasing, designing, manufacturing, and sale and advertising. And so decided to have a organization structure in functional basis, because this business involved with specialized areas such as fabric designing, like that. So we decided to have a functional wise organization structure. That's all.
Because of the task involving expert areas, you decided to group them together and have functional.
Yeah, it will be, yeah, it will be more efficient for the business to have innovative ideas and make if we specialized area, if we divide them into specialized area.
Right. That means it's same like Apple strategy.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any group member who wants to add anything?
Well, madam, we decided for functional because of there are many functions in the clothing business, from the production to up to the end customer. That's why we decided to functional.
Right. Okay. Okay, Kirupagaran. Thank you. And Tarini, thank you. Okay. That's all from group one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you, group one, for your contribution. And we'll quickly go to group two. What about your startup?
Hi, ma'am. This is Shad from Group 2.
Yeah, Shad.
Yeah, we decided to start the ceramic industry, the tiling production plant. So we have, because it's a very demanded business in nowadays in Sri Lanka, and also we have the raw materials in Sri Lanka to start this the tiling manufacturing industry. So under that, we decided we have more investors, but we decided one person as a managing director to drive the business. So under that, we have three directors. First, the finance directors, the very important, crucial part that he wants to do. The second one is the marketing and business development directors, who is the person responsible to develop the business as well as do the strategic and approaches to related things. The third one is the supply chain and logistic the directors, who is the person will handle the raw material from all the supplying part under this. So under the three main directors, there is 5 departments. Based on that, the marketing department, information technology IT department, HR department, likewise logistic department and finance department. So every market department, there is a head of the market head of the department. Under that, we have the regional managers, who are the people target the regions. In Sri Lanka, we are decided 5 regions wise, 5 regional managers. Under the regional managers, we have showroom networks. So every regions there is some showrooms, and then the regional manager will respond to handle all the showrooms. Every showroom has the showroom branch managers under the sales executive team. So this is under the marketing department. When we go for the HR department, who is the person, people are very responsible to hire the people for all of the manufacturing plant, likewise the our business operation areas. We have IT team. The IT team will responsible to handle all the IT related functions with all the departments, but not only the marketing. They are the responsible for all the every whatever IT related issues. The IT department are responsible. We have finance department. Likewise, finance department also. They will fully respond for all the finance activities. Likewise, we have a separate logistic and supply chain department as well. So these are the department we decided that is me.
Right. Okay. So your authority and communication, how it goes, is it kind of a hierarchical one or?
Yeah, it's depend on that the particular situation. Normally, if the branch manager he can handle that the authority level, then he can do. Otherwise, he will recommend to area sales manager or regional manager. Regional manager will recommend to head of the department. The head of department can authorize. Then okay. Otherwise, he will recommend to the directors. And directors will recommend to the MD.
MD.
Likewise, yeah.
So it's kind of a contingency approach, situational approach.
Not contingency approach mainly will be rise from the branches wise, but the decisions, the planning and everything developed and implemented by the top level managers, the directors and MD and board directors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that all group 2?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate that within this short time period, you have come up with a visual presentation as well. I appreciate that extra effort. Thank you very much, group 2. And finally, group 3, regarding your product recalling issue.
Good afternoon, madam. We had a phone company that our managing director is Pujita Udwana, and we have 6 distributors. Myself, one distributor, and others Mahesh, Subramaniam, Anusha, and Sinali. So we had our company. That Mr. Pujita, he's doing that phone product. So at the time of phone product, there was some default with a battery charger. While it is charging, it is suddenly discharging. So because of this issue, he contact all among us, that the distributors, and it is informal, and he asked us to recall all the products to products back to the production. I mean, that factory, because this having some default. Some cases we had already sold it out, and at that time we contacted that customers, and we asked them to return this phone, and we some cases we need to give this battery instead of that recalling all the product and replacing battery, and we sorted out this problem with that without having what is called mm, uh, it is without distributing every among of the all the products among the customers. So because of this is what is the advantage of this formal communication, informal communication, we could approach to each people immediately, that is speed action we could have in, and we could speak to them flexible manner, and everyone giving that positive impact. So likewise we had advantage of this informal communication, whereas some anyway, this is we could manage this one with that without having big impact to our company.
Right. Any group member? I mean, you have assigned your roles among group members. Any other member?
Yeah,
who-
in addition to that,
Yeah.
Pujita, in addition to that, there are some advantages taken by the distributors. Sometimes they are, when we are going behind the informal information, they will return some other things which is they can't sell. Something like the non-moving things also came as a returns due to this issue. Because at that time we are depending on the informal information, that also happening as a disadvantage.
Right. Okay. Got your point.
So in addition that, madam, that because of informal feedback, so
Yes. Sorry,
from
I
the
couldn't hear
distributors,
the
so
final
it was
part. Yes, please
because of
continue.
immediate feedback from. Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear
please.
me?
Yeah, please continue.
Because was immediate response feedback from the distributor, we could replace with the same without damaging to the market. So that was one advantage to strengthen our informal distributor link communication.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mahesh. Got your point. Mahesh or Adil?
I am Mahesh.
Okay, right. Thank you, Mahesh. Any members? Any other members from group 3? That's all, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And it's really interesting and nice to see you all come together as groups while sharing your experience as professionals and reflecting on different matters during the lecture. So I believe you could have been able to improve your networking among the colleagues as well when you go to the breakout room as well. So all these are takeaways from MBA lectures. Right. So with that, we can conclude the first part, which is regarding controlling and regarding the leadership. It's a very practical what do you call it? Very practical topic, very practical aspect that we have to talk about. So, according to your understanding, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Are you all leaders in your company? If you are a leader, what are the attributes or what are the characteristics that you identify with yourself to be considered yourself as a leader. As managers in your capacity, are your leaders in your company? Then which characteristics or the attributes are there with you to consider yourself as a leader? What's your answer? Yes, anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Kirupagara. What's your idea?
Yes, I feel I am a leader because I have subordinate staff who are working under me, not under me, who are working for the. I am as an accountant. I have subordinate staff around 30 people. They are working to achieve what the target given to us. That means we have to produce accounting reports and we have to send the head of resource treasury in time. So I have to direct, I have to give guidance, and I have to give instruction as a team leader for that staff, subordinate staff.
Right. Right. So you think as a manager, you are also leader as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kirupagaran, for your insight. Any other?
Good decision making skills.
Sorry, Ashok?
Good decision making.
Due to decision making.
Yes.
Okay. Any other idea?
Actually, ma'am, we have only 8 to 5 job normally in the weekdays, but I'm working for 24/7. Even in the night, I'm communicating, I'm monitoring, and I'm responsible the email that I even in the night because I'm working with the international level, so I have responsibility all communication. So though it is 85, but I'm working for 24/7.
So, due to that, you think you are playing a leader's role since it's not limited to 8 to 5 job?
Yes, actually, I'm coordinating my GM and the other department.
Right. Since you are going beyond your formal role, you consider. Right. Okay. Got the point.
I
Okay,
don't know
thank
whether you are hearing because it's quite big noise outside.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can take many things from your insights to develop our discussion. Thank you very much, Sujanta, for that as well.
Okay.
Yes, actually, all these members said for someone to become a leader, first of all, you need to have subordinates or followers. Actually, that means what the role of a leader is. Leaders are influencing others' behavior. Right? Either in good manner or bad manner, whatever it is, leaders are influencing others' behavior. So, for person to become a leader, there should be followers. At the same time, with a leader, there is power as well. Power, right? If you have power and if you have followers, you will be considered as a leader in that manner. So, as manager, are you leaders? There is a tiny line which demarcates between managers and leaders. Of course, as managers, you become leaders because you have power, you have followers, you have the ability to influence them, right? You ask them to do something and they comply with that. Therefore, on one hand, you all are leaders. That's true. But what do you think about the leaders such as spiritual leaders, religious leaders? Right? They also had followers, right? And some some kind of a power which we identify as charismatic power, not a very bureaucratic, very autocratic power, not very formal power. With their charisma, there was a charismatic power with them. But can you see the difference between managers and leaders with the fact that usually when we consider the umbrella term of leaders, we believe that leaders are getting their power because those followers are willingly give them the power and consider them as leaders, right? And therefore, those leaders are always empowering their followers and always trying to make the next level of leaders. Rather than keeping them as followers or subordinates, they try to develop them, right? When it comes to managers, for the post of a manager, your power is assigned formally. Let's say Mr. X is the managing director of your company. So the post managing director has a formal power. Therefore, even though Mr. X or Mr. Y or Miss Z or whatever, whoever comes to that position, managing director, due to its formal power, that person gets a power and followers and becomes a leader, kind of a formal leader. But assume that Mr. X is kind of very down to earth person, right? He's welcoming others' ideas and he's friendly dealing with even the very low level employees. Then then assume Miss Z. She is very solemn-headed, very arrogant, very rude, very autocratic, making the decision and passing others, right? So can you see the difference? As MDs, both of them are leaders. They are having a formal power and there are followers to follow their instructions. As managers, they are leaders in the organization. But leadership qualities goes beyond than that. So Miss Z won't get that followers, that respect, that power when she leaves the post of MD. But for Mr. X, even though he leaves the company, even though he gets it retirement, even after he loses his position, he will have that power, influencing power, and some kind of followers who still would like to talk to him and get his instructions, advices, and so on. So that is real leadership. That is real leadership qualities. Therefore, we identify that there is a tiny difference between managers and leaders, but still, as a manager with your positional capacity, you all are also leaders. And that's why we discuss the third function of the management process as leadership. Right? So if I move to our paint canvas, right? Now you are a leader. As a manager, you are a leader. Why? Because you have a power to influence others' behavior. Also, you have followers who follow you, who follow your instructions, right? So, when these leadership theories are evolving in the history, like management concepts, like motivation theories and everything, leadership theories are also evolving from the history, right? So, in the early developments of leadership theory, there was something called trait theory. That means at the very beginning, leadership qualities or leadership characteristics was attributed to the traits of the person. That means if a person has physical strength, very well-built psyche, or if that person is coming from a very wealthy family, which also has governed other people so far, So that type of people were considered as leaders. That means leaders are born. That was the idea. හොඳට උස මහත ඇඟපත තියෙනවා නම් පවුල් පෙළපතේ ඉඳලාම ගම් නායකයෝ ගම් මුලා දැනි රජවරු නිලමෙලා නම්, so it considered that these people are leaders, right, based on their traits. But thereafter, when it's same like management theory is evolution, right? We identified scientific theory to behavioral theory, that human concern was there. Now we have systems theory, participative theory, technology-driven company, and so on. So likewise, thereafter, it was identified that no, just because of these trait, we can't say this person becomes a leader and other people who don't have such kind of traits will not become leaders. No, there's nothing as such. Then what about Mahatma Gandhi, right? Then what about who? Hitler. They are not that much, what do you call, having a huge psyche. I mean, not they are not having very well built bodies, right? Still, they became leaders in different aspects, politically, spiritually, so on. So thereafter, these leadership theories were also evolving. Accordingly, let me there should be something. Great man.
Wow. We're going to use both screen characters
Oops,
as
sorry.
examples for that.
Great man theory. Actually, under this great man theory, it was discussed that if a person is having very well built body, muscles, and everything, when their physical appearance is personality, physical appearance is really strong, they can be considered as leaders. Then, if they are having the ability to control others, and if they're having a strong personality, such kind of characteristics, identified attributes are there of a person, then he or she can be considered as a leader. Then under the contingency theory, it was identified that according to the contingency, leaders can emerge. Even though you are not a leader based on your position at the organization, at a very contingent situation, some of may rise, some of may stand up, right? And he or she will provide solution. At that time, he or she becomes a leader. Then, according to the situation, how the leadership can be changed. There are many leadership theories, right? I'm not going to explain everything. So, Hersey and Blanchard's theory, Fiedler's model. Likewise, there are different scholars who have developed these theories, and thereby there are number of leadership theories. So according to if I just explain you, according to one theory, they say when a new employee is recruited, what the role of a leader should be. When the new recruit comes, he or she should be closely supervised. Everything should be taught to his or her. Thereafter, when they gradually learn the things and get used to the company, how they should be given the autonomy and power to perform their activities. So in that situation, what the role of a leader should be, and thereafter, when organization is facing advantages and or disadvantages situations, how leadership role should be changed. That means if you face kind of positive situation, like your tasks are not that complex, you are people are supporting you, you have a good supervisor subordinate relationship. Likewise, if you have a positive environment, a very good environment, then role of the leader should be something that means the characteristic or the how leader should behave is in one way. If those situations are negative to you, if you don't have such very clearly defined tasks, if you don't have good power relationship between the leader and the subordinate, in such negative condition, how leader should behave. So that means according to the situation, how you should change your leadership. Or according to the situation, what kind of leader you should appoint to handle that situation. So likewise, different theories discusses different aspects of leadership, right? Then again, there is a theory which discusses about task oriented leaders and relationship or human oriented leaders, whether you should be a task oriented leader or whether you should be a relationship or human oriented leader, whether you need to maintain a compromisation between two. So likewise, there are different theories which discusses about who is a leader, what the leadership role should be, how leaders should behave in different contexts. Likewise, addressing different aspects with regards to a leader, these leadership theories are developed. So apart from leadership theories, there are different leadership styles are also identified and introduced. So we identify autocratic leaders, democratic leaders, bureaucratic leaders, then charismatic leaders, then transactional leaders, transformational leaders, and likewise different leadership styles are also identified and introduced to the world. So autocratic means it's like Hitler type, right? You make the decision, you pass it, and others should bow to that. No excuses, no plan B, no alternatives. But democratic means it's the other way. Always you welcome others' ideas. You would like to step one step back, you would like to take one step back and give the chance to others. Always welcoming others' ideas and suggestions. Decisions are making collaboratively. You have participative management. Bureaucratic means you are very stick to the rules, regulations, policies, the boundary of your position. Like sometimes we experience this bureaucracy in government organizations, right? Even the so in hospitals, I think there are a few doctors sometimes than the doctor. අපි කතාවට තියෙන doctorට වඩා attendant තමයි power එක maintain කරන්නේ in that political structure within a hospital. So they much stick to their position, the political agendas, their practices, policies, structure. So they do not like to go beyond that, right? Then charismatic leaders are the like religious leaders and the celebrities, right? That's why due to their charismatic power, that's why we are getting them as brand ambassadors for commercials, for advertisements. Due to their charisma, that means people are attracted to their personality and tend to follow them, tend to behave like that, tend to do what they do. So likewise, if the leader is having attractive personality, the way they talk, walk, smile, behave, and everything, that's charismatic leadership. Transactional means ganu denu. That means you expect something to be performed. On the other hand, you provide reward for them. Then, as a leader, you believe if you get something, you have to give the reward, and based on that reward, others should work. It's just a transaction type leadership. But this final one, transformational leadership, is very much important, and it's really acknowledged in present world. There are 4 I's in the under that transformational leadership. 4 characteristics which starts from letter I. So if we say intellectual stimulation, inspirational motivation, then idealized influence, then individual consideration. That means if a leader always provokes, awake other followers, cognitive capacity, skills, intellectual capacity, ideas, critical thinking, that is intellectual stimulation. Always encourage them to think critically, logically, find solutions. So then inspirational motivation, that means he or she becomes a role model for others. They behave so that others would love to follow them. Others would love to behave as them, right? So that is inspirational motivation. Then that is idealized influence, right? Becoming a role model and influencing others through that enthusiasm. Through that is idealized influence. Being an icon, influencing others, right? Then inspirational motivation means you inspire them, you motivate them by explaining them the real purpose behind something, right? You explain them, okay, this is what you need to do, that is why you are going to do, by doing this you will be able to achieve this. Likewise, you explain the thing, the purpose of work, purpose of being, right? You inspire them, you motivate them to do task, explain them the purpose. Through that, you empower them. Then finally, individual consideration means you pay the attention to individuals and their individual needs, their growth requirements, their sorrows, their grievances, their personal issues. Likewise, individual attention is paid to your followers. So if you have these 4 I's, such a leadership is identified as transformation leadership, and this is kind of a contemporary leadership theory or contemporary leadership style that we identify, right? So as a leader in your organization, you all are managers, you all work in the managerial capacity. So at the same time, since you have power and followers, you all are anyway leaders. So as leaders, you need to think what type of leadership style, what kind of a leadership approach that I'm going to follow, whether I'm a task-oriented one or a human-oriented one or a middle path. I mean the middle path of that task and human orientation, or whether I'm a situational person, whether I'm a contingent person, right? Whether I'm having charismatic style, whether I have an autocratic style or a democratic style, whether I'm just a transactional leader or whether I'm truly a transformational leader. Likewise, you yourself can reflect and decide what is my leadership style and whether I want to change it or not. That's up to you. I can't say you have to change the things like this and that, right? So this is all about leadership theories and leadership styles as concepts that that have been introduced to the world, right? So as always, as leaders, you need to motivate employees, you need to clearly communicate, you need to empower them, you need to provide them feedback always, right? Because in an organization, human resource is the very unique thing. So since you are working as a leader, since you deal with these people, human being in the organization, it's really important for you to motivate them, identify their individual needs, clearly communicating them the expected goals, performance standard from them. Then appreciating their efforts, giving them the feedback, recognition, giving them the autonomy, responsibility, empowerment, and also making the network in the organization support them for team building. For all those things, your leadership matters. Your leadership matters a lot, right? So, under this leadership, another very important topic that we discuss is motivation. This is all about leadership theories and styles. So always leaders should motivate others. At the same time, leaders should motivate others. Motivate followers. Therefore, there are different motivational theories also developed in the business management discipline, under the business management discipline or the management discipline. Different motivational theories are also developed by different scholars. So mainly these motivational theories are in two folds. They discuss two aspects. So first, the first branch of motivational theories are content theories of motivation. Content theories of motivation. That means those theories discuss what motivates employees. That means which factors should be there to motivate employees. Those are discussed under content theories. Then the second branch of motivational theories is the process theories of motivation. So they discuss the process of getting motivated by people. That means how people are getting motivated. Process through which they go when motivating people, right? So there are different theories. I'm not going to explain you each and everything. Say for an example, so have you heard Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Abraham Maslow, he has developed a pyramid type of a theory. Under that, he said he has introduced 5 layers of human needs, human requirement, starting from physiological needs, right? Then safety needs, then social needs, then self-esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So he says that first of all, people want to satisfy their physical needs, such as food, water, shelter, clothes. Likewise, then they want to satisfy their safety needs. Safety in the society. Lives should be safe, without threat, without harm. Then they want to have social needs. That means relationships, companionship, need to be in a group. Right? Likewise, they want to have social needs. That means relationship-oriented needs. Thereafter, they want to have self-esteem needs. They want to have respect, self-respect, respect from others, right? Valued in the society. So likewise, they want to have esteem, a recognition, a respect. Finally, self-actualization. That means finally they want to reach the purpose of life, purpose of being. Whether you are going to achieve a challenging task, whether you are going to do something which haven't been done by someone else before, likewise, but you want to finally actualize in your life. So likewise, Maslow says this type of a hierarchy is there for people to achieve needs. Once they fulfill those needs, they can be motivated. So it is applied to the organizations as well, business organizations as well. So as physiological needs, you want to provide them with better working environment, right? Basic salaries, required payment for them, right? But very basic things of the job. Then safety, their job security, safe working environment, without hazard and everything. Then social requirement. You should allow them to work with other colleagues, allow them to develop their teams, communication, right? Then self-esteem needs. You want to give them recognition, promotion, appreciation. Finally, self-actualization means if they want to have challenging tasks, you give them challenging tasks, give them the responsibility, authority, and autonomy of their work done. And organization is developed so that it tallies with the other spiritual requirements. Under self-actualization, that spiritual needs are also coming. So whether your organization support your employees to reach their spiritual life and needs as well. So likewise, what should be there to motivate people? Likewise, the theories that discuss the factors which are able to motivate people are categorized under content theories. Then process theories, they discuss the process through which people are getting motivated. For an example, equity theory, then expectancy theory. So in the equity theory, it means that now once a person is deployed his or her input for the job, they are getting a relevant output for that effort, right? මම මහන්සි වෙන තරමට මට reward එකක් හම්බ වෙනවා. So I compare my input with my output. මම මෙච්චර මහන්සි වෙනවා, මම මෙච්චර වැඩ කරනවා. So my effort versus the benefit that I'm getting. Whether it's equitable, whether it's justified, whether it's fair. මම මහන්සි වෙන තරමට මට reward එකක් හම්බ වෙනවද? Whether I get the fair outcome for the input that I'm giving for the company. At the same time, I compare my ratio, my input-output ratio with another person who is at my similar level. Right? Let's say HR manager and marketing manager. Both are under the same layer, middle management. So marketing manager first compare his input to his output. HR manager also compares his inputs to his output. They think whether I'm fairly paid or not. Then they compare with each other. Marketing manager compares with HR manager. What is our input-output ratio? Whether he is overpaid or whether I'm overpaid. Whether he is underpaid, whether I'm underpaid. Based on our input-output ratio, whether someone is overpaid or underpaid. So they compare it and get an idea, get a perception regarding the equity, fairness of the reward system, reward mechanism of the organization. So through that, psychologically, either they get motivated or demotivated. So that process is covered under equity theory. In the expectancy theory, it says that, okay, now when I'm working in an organization, I put some effort to that organization, to my work. As a result, I expect that I will get this amount of benefit, right? So I psychologically generate a value for that possible outcome that I'm getting. So according to my effort, if I'm getting that output and if I value that output, it's really valuable to me. If I have assigned a high value to that, so I will continue to give my best. I will continue my effort or I will increase my effort. On the other hand, if I believe that, okay, if I put this effort, I will get this performance. For that, I will get this much of benefit. But if I do not get that, or if I do not value the benefit or the outcome that I'm getting for my performance and my effort, then I will not continue my effort. I will decrease my effort. Or else, with the idea of trying more, sometimes I may increase my effort. So that psychological process is discussed under expectancy theory, because motivation is all about our psychological process. That is the desire that we have to reach something that we haven't reached before, something that we haven't fulfilled before. If there is something that we want to fulfill and if we haven't fulfilled it in our lives, so we have a desire, we have a drive to reach that. That is our motivation. So under this expectancy theory, that is explained. Internally, we think. Psychologically, inside our mind, we think, okay, if I put this much of effort, I will come up with this level of performance. For that performance, I will be rewarded like this. I will get these benefits. Then whether I value that benefit or not, that is also a psychological process. So based on that idea, that expectation of if I put this effort, this outcome, this performance will come, for this, I will get this benefit, like as we expect inside our mind. So whether we value it or not, according to that, it will decide whether we will put more effort next time, whether we will reduce our effort next time, or whether we will maintain the same level of effort next time. Likewise, that psychological process covered there. So now I hope you can understand what factors motivate people is discussed under content theories. The psychological process occur within the mindset of people. Based on that, whether they are getting motivated or demotivated, the psychological part is discussed, that process part is discussed under process theory. So all these theories help us to understand what is required in the organization, what people need, how they should be treated, how to motivate them accordingly, how their psychology work. But it's not simple, it's challenging. How to identify the real needs of people is a challenging task, right? We can't see their real self-actualization, self-esteem needs. Sometimes one person may get motivated with higher payments, whereas another person may get motivated due to the nature of the task he or she is performing. Even though the pay is less, if it is a challenging one, if it's interesting one, if it's a novel one, he or she may get motivated. Sometimes even the payment is higher if that job is not in par with my spiritual values. So one might not get motivated. So likewise, it's challenging to identify the real needs of people, to identify their perception, right? To cater their real requirements. It's challenging. It's not easy. Therefore, in the contemporary environment, different motivational strategies are there, not just paying more, having good environment, safety. Rather than that, different intangible strategies are there to motivate employees, right? Recreational activities, CSR activities, developing their spirituality, likewise, many more activities are there. Developing the company environment so that their freedom is assured, right? And now you can search Google working environment. I can't remember whether I have shared that video with you. So they have a very flexible work environment where you have different seating arrangements, nap pods, putting in it's facilitated there. Right? කකුල් උඩ තියාගෙන වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්, හාන්සි වෙලා වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්, bean bags වල ඉඳගෙන වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්, whatever it is. And you can play, you can swim. You have a very luxury cafeteria. Every aspect of employee is balanced, right? And welcoming new members, treating them as old employees, not just treating them as newbies, right? Including them into project, giving them challenging tasks, let them feel that they are a part of this company. So likewise, there are the huge array of motivational strategies that are played in organization. So as managers, since you all work as leaders in the company too, right? Your leadership styles, your leadership approach, your communication skill, your motivational strategies, all those things matters for the better performance of the company. Why? Now you have a plan. Now you have implemented it through organizing, There you have developed all departments, resources are allocated, communication is there, hierarchy, authority, autonomy, communication chain, all those things are implemented inside the company. So with all these things, you need to drive this diversified workforce for a common goal of the organization. For that, playing a leader's role as managers, playing a leadership role is paramount, is very important in an organization. That is where all these leadership styles, communication, motivation, and everything comes in an organization, right? So that's all about leadership. Since it's a practical thing, I just quickly went through the concepts. I just quickly, in a nutshell, I explained the things to you with the time limitation too. So, is it clear to you? Is this explanation clear to you? Do you have anything to contribute towards the discussion? Since we have final 5 minutes. Please, is this clear to you? The things we discussed on the leadership?
Yes.
Everybody, please tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma. It's very clear.
Oh, okay. Please refer to these leadership theories, styles, and motivational theories again through the recording if you want to get more understanding, right? So, anything else you want to contribute with this technology, digital era, with AI, and with new generation coming into work? Any leadership style, theory, or motivation related insight that you would like to share? Any interesting strategy that you have employed? To motivate people, to lead them?
Just to contribute, ma'am, we have something called future talents and the future leaders. So we do recruit new generations. So now currently it's Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and all. Then they will be rotated across 3 countries for every 6 months in a different functions. They will be working. So let's say they identify as a production trainees or the identify as business trainees. Then they will be rotating under different European countries. Under each country, they will be training on sustainability, leadership, business development, market strategies. Likewise, then once it's done 18-month completions, they'll be deploying in any of the country as a very senior manager level positions actually. So there they will be getting multiple geographical understanding, business functional, engage with the multiple leaders, different functions, and they are very successful resources actually, and we are witnessing in our organization at present.
Right. Thank you very much, Shaheen, for that insight. Actually, with your insight, I remembered something and something came into my mind. That please refer to this theory, job characteristic model. It says how the jobs can be designed so that job itself become a motivation for employees. As Shaheen mentioned, now we are rotating employees, right? Among countries, among different job activities, among different job positions likewise, right? So job rotation, skill variety, I mean, you rotate employee among different jobs and you ask them to develop different skills in order to perform that job. So you empower them, you allow them, and you give them the chance to develop their skills in different aspects. And you make them understand that you are very valuable in our process. Your job is really important to complete the big task, big picture of our organization. So likewise, how the job itself can be developed as a motivator. So I think, Shaheen, I don't know whether you know this theory or not, but I think your company is naturally following that job characteristic model theory, right?
Exactly. And I do follow actually. I rotate my team members among that functions itself. I have my customer logistics and the logistic operations. So that I just keep them for a minimum like 18 months in one function. Then I'll have a dialogue with them saying that I have an opportunity in this area. This will be helpful for you to reach out to a head of supply chain or head of something in my function. So you just switch to this area. I'll give a small hike of this payment of salary. Then after so and so period. So there are constant pros. Normally they look for a financial benefit, not the career benefits.
Yeah.
So likewise we have
Yeah, actually, when you're going to implement especially motivation related thing, it's really challenging. That's why I also said earlier. So I invite all of you, dear friends, please search this job characteristics model, right? Just read through that theory, then you will understand how it can be really implemented in your companies. And just try to implement it with your, maybe with a small team, with your followers, with a small team, just try. So it will end up with the restructuring, company restructuring as well. Sometimes through job characteristics model, through motivation, you will finally end up with restructuring your company. So all these things are linked together. Right. So thank you very much, Shaheen, for sharing that. It paved another way for another discussion for me to share another insight with you. Right.
Pleasure.
Okay, right. It's nice. It's really nice. So thank you very much, everyone, for your contribution. You talked a lot, shared the things, and actively participated in the in-class activity as well. These things are teaching, learning strategies. Playing the video, using Canvas, in-class activity, online activities, interactive learning activities, everything, slides, everything, explanation, verbal explanation, all those things are teaching learning strategies that we use. So I hope that they are effective. You got the use out of them. You find it useful. I hope so. Right. So with that, we have one more day to go. Next week. I think next week, 12th, we have the class according to the original schedule. That means Friday, 7 to 10. Right. So we'll hope to see you at that final session as well with more interaction as well. Right. So if you have anything to clarify, you can ask any doubt. If you have, you can ask anything, or else we can wind up the class. Are you all okay?
Okay, madam.
Okay, then if you don't have any issue, right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you very much,
Have a
ma'am.
good
Have a
weekend.
good
Thank you very
day.
much.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. If you want, you can take a screenshot. I forgot to mention that. I believe if you want, you may have taken.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, then. Bye.